Hello everyone, welcome to Even the Scales. Thank you for clicking on this video today and I hope you're all having a good weekend. My name's Donna and today on my channel I'm going to talk to you more about the mind control abuse that the majority of the community has been carrying out on me. I wasn't really going to do a video today, but I am left with no choice because the abuse is still going on. The community are still trying to think of ways to carry out abuse, and they have been. And the police are also stalking me right now in the police helicopter. They've been flying over the top of the house, going backwards and forwards, just trying to intimidate me. So I thought I'll get on here and do it now. Before I do start though, I would just like to do an acknowledgement of country and acknowledge the Dharawal people, who are the true custodians of this land that I bring you these messages on today. I would also like to pay respect to elders past and present, as well as extend respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are watching this video today. For those of you who haven't heard my story before, my family, the majority of my community, and the police and other authorities in my town have been carrying out something called MK Ultra mind control on me for some time. If you are not aware of what that is, it is when a large group or a community of people get together and they premeditate and carry out very cruel and callous abuse tactics on one person. So this is what they've been doing to me. And MK Ultra mind control is carried out on people to cause them either serious mental or physical illness or even death, whatever comes first. Sometimes people just even give up on their lives when this is being done to them. And this is because I have been purposely isolated. The police are paying off and bribing people to purposely isolate me. So my family has done this, everyone that I had close to me, as well as large organisations that I have even reached out to for help while I've been going through this, have also just ignored me, or they have been paid off to make up some excuse why they can't help me. So this is what's been happening, and this is to make me feel lonely, abandoned, and hopeless. This is what they do to people so that they want them to give up on their life and take their own life. And this is something I'm definitely not going to do because I love my life too much, and I'm sure I'm never going to let anyone take that off me. So this is why I'm fighting so hard right now for this to stop. Everyone's been involved in this, as I said, my family, anyone that I had close to me, and it must have been being planned out while I was still in their lives behind my back. And this has been going on for over a year now, and my family have not reached out to me once to ask me, was I okay? And neither have the people that live around me that have been involved. And there is a very large majority of the people that live around me that are involved in this. Not one person has asked me, was I okay, or if I needed help or anything, because they're all being paid. So this is being done to me because it is a part of a huge police cover-up. Apparently this is what they do to people who know too much. You know, if police have committed a crime themselves, this is what they do to cover it up. The police and my family have been carrying out abuse on me for 2 years plus, but around a year ago, the majority of my community got involved in carrying out abuse tactics on me as well. This is when the police started bribing the community to carry out this abuse. This all started after I wrote a letter to the police explaining how I had been treated and how the police had responded to my calls for help over the past 9 years while I have been living with family and domestic violence. During that time period of 9 years, I reached out to the police 12 times for different reasons, and on every single one of those occasions, I was either treated unfairly or my calls for help were not even followed up. So I wrote a letter about that just to let them know what had happened, because domestic violence is a huge problem in this country. And this is why they want to cover up how they responded to those calls, because they don't want the public knowing what's going on there, because people are losing their lives from domestic violence all the time here in Australia. And it's probably, has a lot to do with how police are responding to those calls for help from people. So I also had family members that are in the police force, and there are also police officers that were connected to my family. And it is these people who have been obstructing me from receiving the justice that I deserve. My family have also stolen an inheritance from me that the justice system have helped them do. So this is another thing that they're trying to cover up. And my family are so invested in carrying out this abuse on me because they have stolen that inheritance, and obviously they don't want to give it back. I also reported a pedophile in 2020 that the police have done nothing about. That pedophile is still living in a community, and the reason that they did nothing about that person was because they wanted to cause me psychological pain. So that's why they did nothing about it, just for that reason alone. There are also some other very serious crimes that police officers that are connected to this family have been involved in. One of them being a very serious and violent crime against women, and this is another thing that they are trying to cover up. So it's all of these things. They just must have thought that it was easier to take me out of the picture than to take accountability for the things that they have done. The thing is, I happen to be a psychic, and it's been very hard for them to fool me, because all the way through this, I've been able to see very clearly what they've been trying to do. So from what I'm gathering, when obviously they've done this to people before in the past, and, perhaps those people didn't make it, and, they were able to take those people out of the picture, a lot sooner than the 12 months that it's been for me. And they're just in a predicament now where they just don't know what to do, because they've created this and now they don't know what to do. It's like either they've got to take accountability or something has to happen to me. And as I said, I'm not giving up. They were just stalking my home just then in the helicopter, and they do this to try and intimidate me. But they don't never succeed. And yeah, I'm being subjected to some very, very inhumane treatment right now. My human rights and my privacy is being violated in a very disgusting and extreme way. I have a listening device in my home, and there's also a listening device in my car. I'm also tracked everywhere I go, and all of my devices have been hacked, and the police and the community can listen in on my home 24/7, and they can also remote view my devices. So that's pretty disgusting that my privacy is being treated in that way. And this is why I am fighting so hard now to just create awareness of what's going on here, because this is a basic human right that they are denying right now. There's also somebody, I feel, that the justice system is paying, that is overseeing this whole operation. And let me tell you, this person is one sick and twisted bastard They really, really are. They are just so disgusting and so deranged with the abuse tactics that they are carrying out on me. This person controls everything. They listen in on my home. And if I get up and move to another room, this person will place people outside of that room to psychologically abuse me in some way. This person watches me 24/7 and they control everything that I see on my social media platforms when it comes to advertisements and things like that. And they're using them to psychologically abuse me. Obviously, they carried out a lot of research on me before they did this. I feel they probably, interviewed my family members and people from my past and paid them for information. And they did this just to find out, the things that triggered me, and they used those things against me. Anything that I liked, they have also tried to take out of my life any way that they can. So they've tried to remove every bit of joy that I ever had in my life, including my grandchildren. My grandchildren were one of the first things that they used to manipulate me. So it's very, very sick. And this person that is controlling all this is a very, very sick and twisted person. But they're also not very smart. I've noticed that. They're not very smart at all. Because, well, I don't know if it's because I'm psychic or what, but I see straight through everything that they try and do. And to me, a lot of the stuff they do is just absolutely ridiculous. If I leave my house, this person, they know where I'm going, this person that's overseeing the whole thing, and they will set up stalkers no matter where I'm going to stalk me and to carry out some kind of psychological abuse on me. They also get people to stalk me on the road. This has happened the last few times I've been out since I made the last video. A couple of days ago, I went out and they sent stalkers towards me. And it was like every time I got to a corner, there was someone pulling out on me. So they're deliberately trying to cause me an accident. And they were doing it at every corner, every roundabout that I approached. They were doing this. And there was even a bus that did this to me. So there is transport companies involved in this. No matter where I go, this person sends stalkers towards me in public places. And if I go into a store, they will send fake customers to that store. And sometimes even the staff are involved that work in the stores. Or they'll just create obstacles. They'll put obstacles in my way and things like that. The other day, I went to the shopping centre and they shut down the Travelator. They do this quite often. When I walk into the building, they go and put a sign up that the Travelator's closed. And obviously, they're doing things like this that, like, they wouldn't be noticed to anyone who did not know what was going on. And they want me to speak up about these things, and say that they're doing them just for me, because then, of course, that's going to make me look crazy. But I know what they're doing, and this has been going on for a year, and I can see through every single thing that they are setting up. I go to 4 different shopping centres in my area quite often, and they set up stalkers at all of these shopping centres. So the fact that they're doing this in shopping centres tells me that some of these incidents that have taken place in the past where people have gone crazy with guns and knives and things like that, and people have lost their lives, this tells me that those people may have been going through something like what I am going through right now, and perhaps they couldn't take any more. Because I can honestly see how someone who, maybe might not be as mentally strong, this could happen to them, because this is how often I am being provoked. There was, up until a couple of days ago, I was being provoked every minute of the day in this community in some way by somebody. It's quietened down a bit now, but that's only because these videos are getting more views, and I'm pretty sure a few of them are caught. So this is the kind of sick thing that they're doing. And this person that I said is very sick, that oversees the whole thing, they heard me I mentioned on the last video how a few weeks ago I was leaving a shopping centre, and because I had reported a pedophile in 2020 and nothing had been done about that person, they actually got that pedophile to walk across in front of my car deliberately just to try and trigger me, just to cause me psychological pain. And that pedophile was actually walking into a McDonald's restaurant during a busy lunch hour. And the police are fully aware of this. But I mentioned this on the last video, and what this person did last time that I went to the shops was they do things like, okay, let's find 50 lookalikes that look like that pedophile and put them in that shopping centre and have them come towards her. And this is the kind of thing they do. When I go to a shopping centre, sometimes I'm absolutely swamped with stalkers. They come from everywhere. So it's unbelievable. And it's like there is a huge network of people that are involved in this. There are so many people. And it's like they can just call on these people any time that they need them, and they go and do this stalking, and they must be getting paid for it. And, I go to the shops like on different days and at different times and everything. So they must have them set up waiting to do this, every day, ready to be there and carry this stalking out. The police, as I just said, they stalk me every day, on and off, and they even do this all hours in the morning sometimes. And this is because I'm not sure if it's them that can hear directly into my home or if it's this person that oversees it all, but they will hear me move through the night. And if I move through the night, they will put the siren on and start stalking me. And they also do it through the day as well. And as I said, this is to intimidate me. This is to cause me psychological abuse in the way of anxiety and stress. And it's also just to rub the fact in, like they're more or less laughing in my face saying like, we won't help you. So, it's been like hell going through this. And, I want these people caught. And they know as well that I have severe PTSD, and this is why they're doing this. And I've been abused by narcissists pretty much all my life. So it's like they're carrying out narcissistic abuse on this grand scale. I haven't mentioned on my previous videos that early on when this started, I actually had a rock thrown at my car, and it really was pelted at my car with a lot of force. I was leaving a car wash when this happened, and I heard something hit my car with a lot of force. And after thinking about it for a while, I believe that was pelted at me from a slingshot. And it was by the worker at the car wash that did it. And I mean, a slingshot is a deadly weapon. And so obviously that was meant to hit me and maybe even take my life. And I believe family members set that up. And I was involved in an accident around 2.5 years ago. I also believe that was set up by my family members as well. In February and March of this year, I was also tricked by my community and my family members to be taken to the Campbelltown Public Hospital, where I was taken to the mental health section and admitted as an involuntary patient. I was held there for 5 weeks against my will, where I had severe psychological abuse carried out on me for 5 weeks straight. by the doctors, the nurses, the patients, and all the workers that work there. They were all involved. And this was to try and trigger a mental health episode in me so that they could keep me there. But what they did, like, there was no reason that I should have ever been taken there in the first place. They tricked me into being locked up in that ward. And so I was taken there, and then they thought they would be able to cause a mental health episode after I'd been taken there. And they thought that this would be successful, obviously, but it wasn't. And yeah, I thank God every day that I got out of there, because I really don't know how I got out of there, to be honest. And I was put through absolute shocking abuse when I was in that hospital. And a lot of the people that live close to me as well have been involved in this, and these people have done so much, the ones that are involved. Not all of them are, but a large majority of them have been involved, and they have just done so much. They have worked so hard on this abuse, because obviously they've either been getting paid, or they thought they were going to get a lump sum or something when I passed away, or something like that. But over the past year, these people have done a lot, and they take advantage of the fact that they do live close to me, and they have that close access, that they're able to carry abuse out on me, more than other people. And this is still going on, still going on. These people listen in on my home all day. That some of them have just been obsessed. I swear it's all they do. These people have just dedicated their lives to just listening in on my life 24/7. And what they do, they will go away and they will plan something, and then they will carry out the abuse. And because they're listening in, they listen in on the things I do, and they probably get ideas because of the things I'm doing. And sometimes I'll go outside and they'll mock me or something like that. It's really stupid, immature stuff. I can't believe that adults are actually involving themselves in this, to be honest. But this is the kind of thing they've been doing. And yeah, they're just totally, some of them are just totally obsessed. They stalk me 24/7. And a lot of them have just been doing it for their entertainment. And what they'll do, they'll carry out abuse, and then they'll go and they'll listen in on my home to see if it's affected me in any way, to see if I've lost hope, or if I'm depressed or anything like that. And yeah, no, but that's how sick they are. That's how sick these people are, the ones that have been involved. So it's not only my privacy is being abused here, my right to live in peace is being abused, as well as my right to live an authentic life, because I haven't been able to have an authentic experience since this started, because everywhere I go, I am stalked by stalkers who are carrying out some kind of fake scenario. It's just ridiculous. And this goes on around my home all the time too. And because I'm isolated, I haven't really, everyone that I have spoken to over the past 12 months at least has been involved in this. So I haven't been able to speak to a real person. It's absolutely crazy. But as I say, obviously they've done this to people before and gotten away with it. And now it's like they're all panicking because they're caught. So they've just been working overtime on the abuse. And here in Campbelltown, New South Wales is where this is going on. Campbelltown, New South Wales, and this used to be a good place to live. I used to think it was, but right now it's got to be one of the worst places in Australia to live. The noise attacks that they've been carrying out, they carry out these noise attacks, and they're organised noise attacks, and they use any kind of transport to do this. When this first started, if you'd have come into this town and heard one of these noise attacks going on, you would have thought, oh my God, what the heck is going on in this place? It was absolutely unbelievable. They were just going crazy with any kind of transport that they could. Even the trains were involved, and they still are. And planes are involved, jumbo jets and light planes. They have still been going over. And when they go over, they do something to make their motor loud so that the plane sounds like it's crashing, or just to create maximum noise. But they carry out these noise attacks, and they are still doing these through the night. If they hear me move through the night or get up during the night, they will start carrying out a noise attack using traffic. And they'll also do it when I first get up of a morning, so that it's the first thing I hear when I wake up is this noise. It was going on a lot worse than what it is now, but it is still going on. And of course, they're creating all this pollution like I have actually witnessed people creating pollution on purpose through this, just to try and get a reaction out of me. They haven't been regulating the noise in this town. The authorities haven't been regulating the noise or the pollution. Here come the police right now in the helicopter. So they're probably just doing that, just to think like, oh, your video is not going to do anything. They're just trying to make me think that. But it's all a big illusion. It's all a big illusion. So, yeah, they carry out these noise attacks, and they're still doing them. They're still doing them, and they create pollution on purpose to do this. It's absolutely crazy. It's like this town's gone backwards. I've also witnessed people abusing children and animals through this as well, because they do these things to try and provoke me, because they know these are the things that I care about a lot. I care about the welfare of children and animals a great deal, and I also care about the environment. So I have seen these people deliberately create pollution right in front of me, and I have witnessed people abusing their children and animals just to try and get a reaction out of me. It's absolutely so sick. So that's how crazy this town has become with what's been going on. It's affected the whole town. It hasn't just affected me, and it's been going on for a year. So it's probably affected a lot of people in a really big way. And this town it's become like one of those towns that you see in those horror movies, like where all the people are like just really weird and strange. That's what it's like to me. And it's sometimes they'll be carrying out a noise attack, and it'll be so noisy, and I'll protect myself in some way. Like I'll get on here and I'll make a video, or I will start recording it on my phone or something like that, just to protect myself. And you will just hear everything just stop and go dead quiet. Like it's the creepiest thing that I have ever heard or seen in my life. And this is because they're listening in my home. So if I start recording something that someone's doing, and they start worrying that they're going to get caught, they'll all be real quiet. And it's unbelievable. It really, really is. It's like it goes from being really, really noisy to you can just hear a pin drop. So it's really quite creepy, and you would have to see it to believe it. And yeah, it's like one of those towns that you see in the movies where everyone's like weird and creepy, because they're all involved in this. Everyone's involved. It's like living amongst a load of heartless zombies, to be quite honest. So yeah, I have to protect myself quite often. because there's no other way that I can get help right now other than to make these videos and speak out about it and just hope that, they start getting more views and that more and more people start finding out about what's going on here. So, where on earth do police bully and terrorize 59-year-old innocent grandmothers? Because this is what they're doing to me right now. I'm totally innocent of any crime. I've done nothing to deserve any of this, even to my family and the people around me that have been involved in carrying out this abuse. I've done nothing to any of those people to deserve any of this. They are doing it for money. And this is why I say heartless zombies. Not one of these people stood up and asked me, was I okay? And to me, that is just unbelievable. If I seen somebody going through something like this, there's no way I could hold myself back from asking that person if they were okay. It's truly, truly unbelievable. So that's about it. I thank you all for listening, but I'm really glad that the police flew over just then and everyone got to hear that what I'm saying is absolutely true. If you have watched this to the end, I would like to thank you very much. And I would also appreciate it if you could like or even share the video. It would just help the video to circulate a bit more and get a few more views. And I will keep you updated on what's going on here in this creepy town of Campbelltown, New South Wales. And I'll talk to you on the next one. So bye for now and God bless.